As the world's attention turns to Belém, the heart of the Amazon, climate diplomacy takes center stage once again. The urgency is certain. Global warming is edging dangerously close to 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold, and the impacts are already here.
It's no longer time for negotiations. It's time for implementation, implementation, implementation.
In Nigeria, the story of climate ambition is one of both progress and persistent gaps. Nigeria ratified the Paris Agreement in 2017, pledging to reduce emissions, adapt to climate impacts, and pursue a low-carbon, resilient development pathway. Under its latest climate plan, the Nationally Determined Contribution 3.0, Nigeria commits to cutting emissions by 29% by 2030. 32% by 2035 and achieving net zero by 2060. The plan introduces new priorities: phasing out routine gas flaring by 2030, ensuring renewables make up 50% of the power mix, and integrating health into climate policy for the first time. Data from Nigeria's first biennial transparency report shows a 10% reduction in emissions between 2018 and 2022, largely due to growing renewable energy projects and improved waste management.
Through these efforts, we are empowering small businesses, promoting clean energy, and transforming agricultural waste into opportunity. Nigeria's geography, from the Sahelian plains in the north to the mangroves of the Niger Delta, reflect nature's generosity and reminds us of our responsibility to preserve what sustains us. This is why we are investing in climate-smart agriculture, livestock transformation, and sustainable land use practices that reduce conflict over resources and enhance food security.
But experts warn that progress remains fragile. The system for tracking and verifying mitigation actions is still evolving, and implementation at the state and local levels is uneven.
Nigeria is not defaulting in any of the major documentations that are required by the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The major challenge is to be able to assess how far we have been able to deliver those things we put in those policies, plans, and strategies.
We have 36 states, and all of these national policies should actually be at the subnational levels. That is where the people are. That is where the impact of climate change is really being felt. And when we talk of policies, it's not just a document. We're also looking at the budgetary provisions. So the question is, how much has the national government budgeted for climate action?
Climate finance remains a major challenge. Between 2015 and 2021, Nigeria received about $4.93 billion in climate-related funding, supporting 828 projects across energy, agriculture, forestry, and education. Yet, 3/4 of that support came as concessional loans, increasing the nation's debt burden.
No nation can finance climate ambition with goodwill alone. Climate finance remains the vehicle of effective implementation, and we therefore call for a reliable and equitable architecture that recognizes the unique realities of developing nations and empowers them to deliver on global commitments. Nigeria welcomes the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund and urges our partners to ensure its accessibility to the most climate vulnerable nations.
As much as government is interested in ensuring that we implement our climate action, but we want to say, and I want to say it very clearly, that more funding still requires in the sector. And this may be because we have not sufficiently assessed all the Green Climate Change Fund and initiatives that are available globally. And we are not able to assess it because of lack of data.
Nigeria's climate challenges are multidimensional, from desertification in the north to coastal erosion in the south. Millions face threats to livelihoods and food security. Women, children, and indigenous communities remain most at risk.
Practically, we've been able to see the effect of climate change in Nigeria, in every local communities in Nigeria. Just earlier in the year, we have the very devastating, deadly flood in Imokwa, and likewise in other places as well. And we've been having huge rainfall, so flooding reported everywhere. So that shows that there's a lot that needs to be done within the country.
Nigeria's energy transition plan and long-term low-emission development strategy charts the path to a just transition, with natural gas as a bridge fuel and renewable energy as the future. But bridging ambition and reality demands stronger governance, innovative financing, and community-driven action. The climate clock is ticking and every action counts. The question for Nigeria now is not about promises made, but promises kept. From all our renewable energy sources to planting trees and other adaptation projects in the country, in communities, Nigeria is indeed making progress. The next phase, however, is how to put in action everything that is contained in our document: sustainable, accountable, and inclusive. Nkoli Omoldu, AIT News, Abuja.